welcome to a Wow embossing powder video. I'm Christine, and in today's video we're going to be looking at hot foiling. Now there are multiple different machines for hot foiling on the market. I personally have the Go Press and Foil from probably like 10 years ago. So for today's video we're going to be making a gorgeous lotus flower card with some hot foiling on top of this lotus flower design. Now I've already taken the 4 layers, oops, nearly dropped them then, of this Hero Arts Lotus Field layering stencil set from their Tranquil Garden collection, and I've done all of the stenciled layering, so that's already done and you don't have to watch me do that, but I've gone for like a blue lotus flower for my background, and I've also done a tiny little bit of inking in the background as well, just to kind of take away that starkness of the white. And if you want to know the colours that I've used for this, for the actual lotus flowers I've gone with Shaded Lilac, Stormy Sky and a little bit of Blueprint Sketch just to bring in some slightly darker tones. For the foliage I've gone with Twisted Citron and with Rustic Wilderness. For the centres of the flowers I've gone with Mustard Seed and Wild Honey, and then that tiny little bit of blue in the background is a little bit of Tumbled Glass as well. So those are the colours that I have used for this. And for this card we're going to be playing around with some of Wow's hot foils, and I haven't used these two yet. I've already made kind of a version of this card so I know where I'm going, but I used 2 different silver foils for that project. But for this one I'm going to try the Microdot, which is a fascinating foil. It's got all of this almost like static off the telly kind of pattern in it, and then we're also going to use the gloss silver. The previous version of this that I made, I used the Spectrum, which is kind of like a rainbowy silver foil, and then I also used the matte silver version as well. So I'll show you that once we finish this card. I'll show you the comparison between the different kind of silver foils that Wow has in their collection. But this is specifically the hot foil that Wow does, because they do also do the toner activated foil as well. But we're working with the hot foil today because we're using hot foil plates and we want the foil to work with our designs. So what I want to do is I've taken this BetterPress plate, which is part of the Feather Dream collection from Dina Wakley and Spellbinders. You can do this registration system of layering up the different feathers in different colours and use your BetterPress to do your stamping with it, or you can also use it for your hot foiling as well. And I've taken the beautiful script and I want to hot foil this over the top of my design. I used a larger hot foil plate for the previous card that I've made that I'll show you, and I don't know whether it was just me, but I couldn't quite get the foil to be really solid. So I thought for this one we'll go for something finer, and I'm thinking using the Microdot for this part so it's not too in your face, kind of sparkly. We'll just get that subtle kind of effect in here, and I just want it to kind of act as though we were maybe adding some stamping on top of this background. So I want to put my design here, and the way I like to sort of layer up my sort of sandwich for my hot foiling is I take the foil and I want to cut a piece that is going to fit over the top of the size of my plate. And I do find scissors that don't have a serrated blade on them are best for cutting foil. I find that always works better than ones that do have a serrated blade on them. And then you want to have your beautiful background or just your plain piece of card, whatever you're working on. Place your foil pretty side up, because it's the back side of the foil that has got the adhesive on that's going to attach to our card. So we want to always work with pretty side up, and then we want the detailed part of our plate, whether it is a glimmer one or a BetterPress kind of one or any other ones on the market, you want the detailed part to be going onto the pretty side of the foil, so that is going to be transferred onto our cardstock, and I'm going to position it about there, I think. Then I'm going to take some repositionable Scotch tape. I do find this is the best one for this kind of process. It doesn't seem to be affected by the heat, and it doesn't seem to rip your card as well. So if you haven't discovered a tape yet that's great for this kind of process, the Scotch removable with the blue inside is brilliant. So I want to tape it down like this. Then I've got my Go Press and Foil off to the side, and those of you who are newer to crafting may never have even heard of the Go Press and Foil, but this was like the main machine that was out there before like the Todo and the Glimmer from Spellbinders. So I want to open up my little platform here and then carefully flip this over. So we've made our sandwich up this way, but technically this flat part of our plate needs to be in contact with the heating element of our hot foiling system, whatever kind of system that you use. So we're going to flip that over and place that on here, and then close this. Now sometimes you do need an extra shim of cardstock, and in the past I've gone through, you know, 1, 2, 3, sometimes even needing 4 shims of cardstock. But I do find if you're sort of new to this and you're experimenting, go with no shims first, because if you do go with 1 or 2 shims, you may get some overfoiling and you may feel like it spoils the end result. So I always find go with no shims first, and I have found that that is the perfect combination for using these wow foils, the cardstock that I use and the BetterPress plate. So we're going with no shim of anything in here. Then I'm closing this down, and with the GoPress and foil you push it in so it's locking in the sort of heating element over here, and then you press the button. It'll flash red for a bit, and once it starts flashing green you know that it's hot enough. It does take a little while, and because it's a relatively large plate, I do want this to get nice and hot before we run this through our die cutting machine. And also you may want to know, with hot foiling, they usually require a machine that has a deep mouth. So you could go with the Sizzix Switch, or any of the Spellbinders machines, the Platinum, the Platinum 6, work brilliantly for this kind of thing. Even the Sizzix Big Shot as well. I've never tried a Sizzix Big Shot, so I always forget to mention that one. But any of those wider mouth kind of machines that have a big base platform already should work with hot foiling kind of systems. But I'm using the GoPress and foil along with my Platinum 6, and I just happen to have the deep sea version that Jane Davenport brought out a few years ago. So my light has now turned green, which means this should be a hot enough sandwich to go through, and I can feel the heat here, and in person I can even see a bit of condensation on here as well, which means that it's all got nice and hot in there. So I'm going to move that round for a second, bring in my Deep Sea Platinum 6, and I will apologise now for the squeakiness of the handle on this machine. So I'm probably going to talk while I run it through, so hopefully the squeakiness isn't too annoying for you. But you want to take your platform out of your GoPress and foil, place it onto the base of your machine and run it through, and you want to run it through slowly. And it's also good to run it back again as well. Now when you're running that through, if you have tried to put a couple of shims of cardstock in there and it's too difficult to run it through, then you know that you've put too much in and you're going to have to take something out before you can actually run it all the way through your machine. But that one went through really nice and easily, so hopefully there was enough pressure. So let's lift this off. Because we tape this into place, the hot foil plate is going to come off with our card that we're pulling off of here. But when we do the sentiment, I'll show you the other way to build your sandwich by working on this hot plate directly. So now we can remove this hot plate, and then you should be able to see, oh, I don't want to reveal it just yet, you should be able to see the indent on there of the beautiful script. You want to let this just cool a little bit before you take it off, and then we can reveal our beautiful micro-dotted script on here as well. And the great thing about this one is, even if you do get any little bits of overfoiling, it really doesn't matter, because there's little splatters and things in this design as well. But I actually haven't got any overfoiling, which is great, because I'm often really bad at getting overfoiling, but I think that looks perfect. So we've got that beautiful script in there now, just really subtle. Compared to the other card that I'll show you, this is hardly any foiling that we've added onto this, but I just thought it's a nice subtle way of just adding something else onto your background. And if you wanted to, you could have even moved this further up and done a couple of them going down the side of the card as well. And you can also use this piece if you want to as well. I don't think I will for this one, but for the previous version when I was making my sentiments, I used the waste and then created a second set of sentiments out of them as well. So I'll show you how you can do that too when we do our sentiments in 1 second. So for the sentiments, I've chosen this BetterPress of the Month set from November 24 called Paint the Town, and you might have it in your stash. If not, any of these kind of BetterPress or letterpress sort of sentiments that have coordinating dies with them are fantastic for this, because it makes it so much easier. And I'm just going to remove this out of here. And this is a registration one, so you could actually create a beautiful background with all the brush strokes in here. But we're just going for the sentiments today. So I'm going to take off these two BetterPress sentiments, bring my machine back in, and this is kind of the traditional way to build up your sort of hot foiling sandwich. But when you want something to be in a specific place on the background, taping it into place like I just showed you is perfect. But if you don't really mind and it's going to be something that you're going to die cut, then this is kind of the way to do it. So you just want to place your BetterPress or your hot foil dies onto the hot portion of your plate. Then take your foil and cover your sentiment pretty side down, because we're building this sandwich backwards. If you're doing it this way, you want the pretty side to be facing downwards, because remember, the pretty side goes to the detailed part of your plate that you're using. And then you want to put a piece of card over the top, whatever card that you want to work on. And just to keep your plates and your machine clean and everything, make sure your card is big enough to cover the piece of foil that you've put on there, just so you don't get any overfoiling on the lid of this when you're doing your hot foiling. So now we know that no shim worked brilliantly, we can close this down, push that in so it's actually locked into place. It's beginning heating up anyway, and once this has gone green and we know that it's heated for enough time, we can run this through our machine as well. Okay, so my light has gone green, so again I'm going to bring my machine over, shifty that out of the way, open it up and pull the platform out, and we'll run it through slowly and then back on itself again. Okay, so now we've run that through. When you're working with your hot foil plate straight onto the platform, they'll stay there because obviously you haven't stuck them onto your project. So they'll stay there, and with the GoPress and foil you have these magnetic tweezers that you can use to take those off, so they'll cool down on the silicone mat that you also get in with the GoPress and foil. So now we've got our beautiful sentiments. I didn't quite get that one very well in that bottom corner. It might just have foiled it, I might just have gotten away with it, but I think I'm going to use the birthday one or the special day one anyway. Let's just cool that off a little bit, and then we can remove the foil to reveal our sentiments. And I didn't quite get the word at the bottom there, but I do think I want one of these two anyway, and that has foiled really nicely. Maybe not quite actually. It's a little bit patchy on the word hooray. I might not have let it heat up quite enough because it is a little bit patchy on the word hooray. But if you get a perfect impression of this, you can then use the waste to also create perfect impressions of your sentiments as well, if you get a product like this. So this is called the Essential Glimmer Solid Rectangle, and it's for doing all sorts of different like background techniques, but it's perfect size for sentiments. And if you put this down first on your plate and then you put your foil pretty side down, you put your cardstock on top, you can then end up with this kind of sentiment as well. So when you're doing it this way, you die cut these out with the coordinating dies and you get your foiled sentiment onto white card. But if you use the waste and use that extra plate, you can die cut them out and you get the foiled around and the white card as your sentiment as well. So you can actually get double the amount of sentiments when you're doing this kind of technique for your cards as well. These ones aren't quite perfect, but I will still be using those for my project because I quite like the patchy look on that actually. I think that looks quite good. I think it will go with the Microdots that I've used for the other foil as well. I think it will sort of tie it all in together. So now we've got those foiled sentiments, we also have the coordinating dies. So we can line these up and then die cut out our beautiful sentiments for using on our card. Okay, so now we've got our beautiful sentiments all die cut out with the coordinating dies. On my previous card I did hooray it's your birthday, so I might do hooray it's your special day for this card just to make it a little bit different. And then we've got our original piece, and to be honest you can hardly actually tell that I used that beautiful Microdot foil, so maybe save the Microdot for something a little bit wider sort of designs, you can actually see some of that beautiful interference-y, staticky kind of look to it, because it has almost disappeared. You can kind of catch it a little bit, but it would definitely be more evident if I had done it with the die I've used on the other card. So once we've got to this point, I'm going to trim this down to my favourite size, and I think I want the wording slightly further up the card, so I'm going to chop it there, and then I'm going to chop over here like that, I think. So I've got it sort of lined up like that. And you do have little scrap pieces left over, so if you do junk journaling or art journaling, you could make use of those as well. And then we've got our stunning background here. And then we've got our gorgeous foiled sentiment as well. So we've got, hooray, it's your special day. And I'm thinking of overlapping it like this and using some 3D foam to add that on. Now, the previous card that I have done, let's zoom you in a little bit, is this one here, where I've used the spectrum foil, and you can see I used a much wider foil plate that had a lot more open space on it, so you can really see that foil more on this one. So perhaps I should have just used the same glimmer plate for this card, but it kind of gives you a different look. You know, you can go really heavy with the foil, you can go more subtle with the foil, and because this foil wasn't 100% perfect because it was such a large space, I used this extra die from my stash to kind of add a bit of detail in, but I don't know if we're really going to need it on this card. I feel like the subtleness sort of, I think that's just going to make it too busy. You're not going to be able to tell everything that's there, so I don't think we need that for this card. And I think all we need to do really is add these sentiments on. Maybe we could bring it up higher actually, like something more like that. So add those sentiments on with some 3D foam, add it to a card blank, and then we're going to have our second version of our card. So this one is using the Microdot foil for our hot foiling in our script in the background, and then I've used the shiny silver foil. It's not perfect on that hooray though, that is just my bad hot foiling. I don't think I let it heat up for long enough, but the small sentiment is absolutely perfect. So that is showing off those two silver versions of the wow foil for the hot foiling. And then this one is using the matte silver for the sentiment. And then I've also used this spectrum for this back piece here as well. I do think maybe I do prefer this. I was thinking the subtler approach would maybe be better, but actually if you want to show off your hot foiling, definitely go for a sort of glimmer plate or a BetterPress plate that has a lot more open space on it, so you can really see that effect. That would have looked fantastic in the Microdot, and I really should have used the same one for this, but it does show how you can still do more of a subtle effect of foiling on your cards as well, rather than having to go all out with the foiling too. So I really hope you've enjoyed this quick video looking at a bit of hot foiling using the Wow hot foils in 4 different of the silver tones that they do. You can also use the code WOWDTCrafty if you're shopping on either of the 2 Wow websites to get a discount when you're checking out as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!